A loving heart is the truest wisdom. It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known. No one is useless in this world who lightens the burden of it to anyone else. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. There are dark shadows on the earth, but its lights are stronger in the contrast. Electric communication will never be a substitute for the face of someone who with their soul encourages another person to be brave and true. It is a melancholy truth that even great men have their poor relations. An idea, like a ghost, must be spoken to a little before it will explain itself. A day wasted on others is not wasted on oneself. There is nothing so strong or safe in an emergency of life as the simple truth. Happy, happy Christmas, that can win us back to the delusions of our childhood days, recall to the old man the pleasures of his youth, and transport the traveler back to his own fireside and quiet home. Whatever I have tried to do in life, I have tried with all my heart to do it well. Whatever I have devoted myself to, I have devoted myself completely. In great aims and in small I have always thoroughly been in earnest. There is a wisdom of the head and a wisdom of the heart. The first rule of business is, do other men for they would do you. There are strings in the human heart that had better not be vibrated. Fan the sinking flame of hilarity with the wing of friendship and pass the rosy wine. A wonderful fact to reflect upon, that every human creature is constituted to be that profound secret and mystery to every other. Vices are sometimes only virtues carried to excess. To conceal anything from those to whom I am attached is not in my nature. I can never close my lips where I have opened my heart. Oh, the nerves, the mysteries of this machine called man. Oh, the little that unhinges it, poor creatures that we are. This is a world of action, and not for moping and groaning in. Regrets are the natural property of gray hairs. Credit is a system whereby a person who cannot pay gets another person who cannot pay to guarantee that he can pay. Send forth the child and childish man together and blush for the pride that libels our own old happy state and gives its title to an ugly and distorted image. Papa, potatoes, poultry, prunes and prism are all very good words for the lips. He had but one eye, and the popular prejudice runs in favor of two. Let us be moral. Let us contemplate existence. Although a skillful flatterer is a most delightful companion, if you have him all to yourself, his taste becomes very doubtful when he takes to complimenting other people. Christmas time? That man must be a misanthrope indeed, in whose breast something like a jovial feeling is not roused, in whose mind some pleasant associations are not awakened by the recurrence of Christmas. Most men are individuals no longer, so far as their business, its activities, or its moralities are concerned. They are not units but fractions. We forge the chains we wear in life. If there were no bad people, there would be no good lawyers. The pain of parting is nothing to the joy of meeting again. Reflect upon your present blessings, of which every man has many, not on your past misfortunes, of which all men have some. The whole difference between construction and creation is exactly this: that a thing constructed can only be loved after it is constructed, but a thing created is loved before it exists. Have a heart that never hardens, and a temper that never tires, and a touch that never hurts. Charity begins at home, and justice begins next door. Home is a name, a word, it is a strong one, stronger than magician ever spoke, or spirit ever answered to, in the strongest conjuration. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. There are books of which the backs and covers are by far the best parts. I only ask to be free. The butterflies are free. Life is made of ever so many partings welded together. The men who learn endurance are they who call the whole world brother. Great men are seldom over-scrupulous in the arrangement of their attire. The civility which money will purchase is rarely extended to those who have none. Dignity, and even holiness too, sometimes, are more questions of coat and waistcoat than some people imagine. There are only two styles of portrait painting, the serious and the smirk. Little Red Riding Hood was my first love. I felt that, if I could have married Little Red Riding Hood, I should have known perfect bliss. You don't carry, in your countenance, a letter of recommendation. In the little world, in which children have their existence, whosoever brings them up, there is nothing so finely perceived, and so finely felt, as injustice. The age of chivalry is past. Boars have succeeded to dragons. Any man may be in good spirits and good temper when he's well dressed. There ain't much credit in that. The one great principle of English law is to make business for itself. There are not a few among the disciples of charity who require, in their vocation, scarcely less excitement than the votaries of pleasure in theirs. Subdue your appetites, my dears, and you've conquered human nature. It opens the lungs, washes the countenance, exercises the eyes, and softens down the temper, so cry away. Renunciation remains sorrow, though a sorrow borne willingly. It is a pleasant thing to reflect upon, and furnishes a complete answer to those who contend for the gradual degeneration of the human species, that every baby born into the world is a finer one than the last. May not the complaint that common people are above their station often take its rise in the fact of uncommon people being below theirs? When a man bleeds inwardly, it is a dangerous thing for himself, but when he laughs inwardly, it bodes no good to other people.